I'm gonna end up looking over there.
You end up looking where? Here or here?
Okay, I'm gonna look here.
Look here. Always look there.
I
Always look there.
All right.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yo, what's up? This is Merc B.
And I am Q.
And welcome once again to the tag team. We're already getting this started, tagging somebody in. And this tag-in is this was from a correspondence or a letter that you got?
Yeah, actually, it's from a viewer. I hope he doesn't mind me saying his name. His name is Vonzel. Thank you so much for this topic.
Oh, Vonzel, I know Vonzel.
You know
What up, Vonzel?
Vonzel.
Yeah, Vonzel, how you doing, Vonzel?
Yeah. So
that's right, good old Vonzel Reynolds.
But you know what? I told you that we were going to do this topic, and luckily enough, we have a very special guest in-house today.
We do.
To help us talk about it. Basically, let me throw it out there what the topic is before we introduce our guest.
Okay.
The topic is the disconnect between black gay men who venture out into the drag arena, drag world, and those who just choose not to. You know?
Nice,
and
nice.
our guest today, Kay, we're going to tag in. Can we go ahead and tag him in?
Let's tag him in.
Tag,
you're
it. All right, so we're tagging him in. His name is Kay. He's a professional drag performer, and he goes by the name Sparkle.
Sparkle.
You better be careful what you say to me, hey, cause it might turn around on you.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes by the name of Sparkle.
So if the shoe fits, wear it, girl. Na 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 na. Yes.
This is busybody.
Okay.
So anyway,
okay.
so we're gonna use the name interchangeably, Kay Sparkle today. So you know when we say Sparkle, we're talking about the lovely Kay.
All right, that's what's up.
All right, so basically we're gonna get into it right now. Like I said, Kay is a professional drag performer.
Okay.
And he's going to talk to us a little bit today about different things.
Right. And I think it's a really good thing that we do talk about this because, you know, the tag team, we keeps it so thugged out.
we so thugged out.
So we just wanted to get some more understanding.
We very top.
Okay, top.
Sorry.
No, but the reason why I say that is because, you know, I know a lot of people wonder, like, even when Q brought this topic to me, I was saying, you know, this would be great because there are a lot of guys out there that have a lot of questions. I know I do.
Yes.
About, you know, our you know, drag performers, the drag life, and not only that, just how it intertwines with black gay men in general. So a lot of what we talk about today is going to address that.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that.
Oh, good.
Because Kay is going to talk about the philosophy.
Nice.
Not philosophy, like more like psychology.
Okay.
The psychology behind drag, right?
Okay.
And he's going to talk about the disparities in the black gay culture between those who do drag and those who don't, and also the perceptions, misconceptions, and myths about drag queens.
Okay. Well, let's get to it because I mean it sounds like a long syllabus. So yes, I want to make sure.
Okay, yeah.
I want to make sure that we get right into the meat and potatoes. Like
Absolutely.
I said, Q, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take the lead on this.
Okay. All right. So, Kay Spaghetti. So, can you tell us a little bit about your life as a drag performer? You know, when you started to do it and how it has changed or affected your life.
Well, I started doing drag, the proper term for it, the art of female impersonation.
Oh.
I started doing it back in 2006, actually May of 2006, actually. So it was, I don't know, I just wanted to try it. I wasn't really familiar with drag, and the first drag show I went to, I was like, oh wow, I want to do that. And I've always been fascinated with music. I was a musician for a while, and I've always had an appreciation for the performing arts. So when I got into drag, it kind of just bridged the two for me.
Okay.
And I totally enjoy it. It adds to my life. It kind of helps to minimize my stress because, you know, day to day I work. But when I get in drag, it's something fun. It's not only a business for me, but it's something fun to do, something that I love to do.
Okay. So you're saying it speaks to that thespian side of you.
Yes.
and like
I know some thespians.
Okay, I do too.
I love them. They're good people. They're good people. Thespians. I think
not lesbians.
Not lesbians.
Lesbians.
I said that's what I said. I said thespians. I know some thespians. They're very good people.
They're very good people. They are. All right. So great. I just wanted to know, like, as far as your dressing in drag, right? Do you do that, like, when you go out to the club? Is that something that you normally do? Like, I mean, on a regular, go out, hanging out with your buddies type thing?
No. No, absolutely not.
Have you ever done that?
I have done that maybe once or twice. And that's only if, it could be for purposes of, like, getting exposure, like getting people to see you out, getting people to know you. Makeup is expensive, and I don't wear cheap makeup, so I need to make sure that I'm not just putting makeup on just for the heck of putting makeup on. So I won't just go out on a Saturday night. Oh, I feel like doing drag. And plus, it takes a long time to do makeup. So no, that's too long. It takes too long to get ready.
I definitely want to come back to that because I know Merc B was asking some questions about that makeup.
Yeah, well, you know what? We was asking questions about their makeup.
I think we're gonna try.
That's funny as hell.
Speaking of wanting to try drag,
right.
I know, let's just be honest, let's put it out there.
Okay.
The black gay community is so obsessed with masculinity.
Super
obsessed with masculinity. I'm not saying there's a problem
just from my experience. I can only speak about my experience.
I'm speaking from my experience as well. From what I experienced. Like, even it goes back to when I came out to my mother. She was concerned whether or not I wanted to dress in drag. Because they think if you're gay that you want to be a woman.
Right.
A lot of people think that, especially straight people. So my mom said to me, she goes, "You ain't gonna be dressing in drag, are you?" I'm like, "No." And then when I started hanging out and going out, what I was seeing is like a lot of masculine kind of imagery around me in the club.
Right.
And that's what everybody seemed to be flocking towards, the masculine men. So it made me want to start working out and be more masculine. In a world that's dominated by this obsession with masculinity, what led you to actually don your drag and then actually go public with it?
The fact that I wasn't gonna give in to the masculinity.
Okay.
I have always been the type to be unique. I've always been the type that I've always questioned the status quo.
Okay.
And being that masculinity, especially in the black gay community, is the status quo. I went the other way.
Okay, I get that. So you're actually saying that you definitely was sensitive to that going aesthetic and that going like kind of world view of the ideal black gay man being one that resembles a heterosexual male. So it was something that you did feel.
It's something that I felt, but it's something that I felt was it. I don't want to say it was wrong, but I think it was an issue. I
understand. I definitely understand. I think anything that doesn't exist in balance and moderation is an issue. And I mean, we all have to admit, like, the black gay male aesthetic is one right now of hyper masculinity. Right. So I definitely like the fact that you're saying that. Okay, I was sensitive to that, and I was actually a bit somewhat. I understand what you're saying about you falling in love with it and just liking to do it as a craft, but also understanding where that landed you in the black gay male landscape socially or whatever like that, which kind of brings me into a question in terms of that, like with knowing that and with going through that, and you might have been on this question, it might have been coming up, but what has that done in terms of like the dating life? So do you?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, with guys, when you do, is it one of those things where you have to tell guys, okay, this is the situation, I'm a drag performer, and it's not like, which is so crazy when I really think about it, because it really is a performance art.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah.
Me and this gum.
Yeah.
It really is a performance art. It is not like, it is not a situation where you're saying, okay, I'm living as a woman. It's not a situation where you're identifying as trans or anything like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're saying, this is what I like to do, female impersonation. There are heterosexual people that impersonate the opposite sex, and they do it very well.
Absolutely.
This is an art form. But this specific art form in itself in the gay black landscape is somewhat of a taboo in that subculture of the black gay hyper masculine aesthetic. So how does that work for you when you're talking to guys?
Drag is still an underground art.
Okay.
It's still
right.
I mean, more and more it's coming out. You have the RuPaul's Drag Race. You have all. It's kind of like the ballroom scene.
Right. Okay.
The ballroom scene is still an underground art. You had the Vogue Evolution that was on.
On ABC.
There you go.
ABDC.
Yeah. There you go. EFG.
There you go. Okay.
But at the same time, being that it's still an underground art, it's still kind of taboo. And one of the things that you said that I appreciate is the fact that drag is an art form.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is truly an art form because of the fact that, I mean, you have some people that identify as trans that still are drag queens.
Right.
So the biggest misconception of drag queens is the fact that we want to be females. We don't.
Oh.
I can't. No, I do not want to be female. It is uncomfortable.
I love it.
But that's one of the biggest misconceptions.
Okay.
With that being said, dating is not easy.
I get it. I get it. And it's not something that I would have known firsthand, but I can imagine it because just like you said, Q, coming out, you see what it is.
Right.
It's not easy, but you have to stand your ground.
Okay.
If you are strong enough and really say, hey, this is the deal. This is me. This is what I do. And honestly, even with me, it's weird because I don't like the masculine type dudes.
Okay.
What?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
What?
No. Sorry. As gay as they come.
Okay. I love it.
You never had that situation?
What do you mean?
With dating, you looking like Eartha Kitt and everything, like.
Okay.
That's
wow,
an issue
yeah,
for you.
nah. I've never quite. And even, some of my tag team people can, let us know. We've all probably encountered that at some point where it's, if you're black and gay, where it's like, oh, you're not as masculine as I thought you were.
Right.
That has definitely been some of my experience. Or it's been the opposite where, a guy said, whoa, you're a lot more masculine. And I'm just going to say masculine is a blanket term. Please don't crucify us for not being, thorough with the terminology.
Right.
But, I've been in situations where guys have said, oh, you're a lot more masculine. You're a lot more aggressive. I don't want to put those two in the same basket per se. But you're a lot more of this category than I actually thought you were on site. So
I'm sorry. It's a little bit of a different dynamic for me because for me, masculine or not, I really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
What matters to me is whether you're out or not. I don't do in the closet.
Okay.
No.
Good.
No. And neither should any of you.
I don't.
Neither should any of you.
I don't do in the closet that much. I don't take well to it because of how comfortable I live my life.
Right.
Right.
And the fact that I don't really care.
Right. Now
what
it's
people think.
interesting.
So,
that brings into an interesting point to me. Like, is that one of the things that we were talking about misconceptions in general and assumptions in general? Is that one of the things that you detect or feel when you're considering the more masculine, straight acting guys that maybe an inability to be open? Is that something that's a part of that for you when those guys come into your view? You know what I mean?
Is that something that I'm hesitant to?
Is that one of your I guess is that one of the things that causes you to be apprehensive of more masculine guys, or do they even relate to you in any way? Like someone's outness relative to their level of masculinity or ability to appear heterosexual.
Yeah, I think honestly, when it comes to masculine, either way, I ask anybody, whether they're out or not.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I've met some queens that say, "Oh, I'm not out."
What?
Don't nobody know.
I'm like,
don't nobody know a thing.
I said, really?
Oh no, girl, I ain't out, girl. Girl. I tell the girls, I'm straight, honey. I'm straight, honey. Honey, I'm straight. Oh no, honey, I'm not a queen, honey. I don't know what you're talking about.
But
honey.
I mean, but for me, it's a conversation that I have with everybody.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily being in that category of I'm out.
Okay.
But you know, not caring what other people feel about your sexuality.
I love it.
Because if you're gay, please identify as gay.
I love it.
And whether you go around waving a rainbow flag or you are very conservative with it, it doesn't matter as long as you are gay and you identify as gay. If I ask you a question and if I'm a straight female and I ask you you're gay and you tell me no, okay, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
No, honey. No, I am not.
All right, so I have a question regarding, you know, well, we already talked about dating options.
Okay.
And, you know, that to clear it up for the viewers, do you feel like it's limited?
For a drag queen?
Yes.
Yes, it can be.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Depending on what you're into, it can be. Absolutely.
What are you into?
Yeah, what are you into?
Well, I done told y'all what I'm into, what kind of guys I like.
Well, that should be.
It's not hard for me.
I don't know if I wasn't listening. I was just checking my makeup. I don't know, but I didn't hear you. I am dead serious, Spark. I'm serious.
I like guys that are out.
You like guys that are out? Okay.
I like guys from masculine to feminine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
He could carry a purse. I don't give a damn.
You don't give
It's what's inside.
Okay, it's what's inside. So he can carry a purse. What kind of body types do you like? I always
it all depends on the person. I have dated from very muscular to thick guys.
Thick guys.
As long as they know how to carry their weight, as long as they're classy.
Hold up, you gotta stop right there. What does carry your weight mean? Because I'm carrying my weight right now.
You gotta know how to move your arm.
You have to know how to say it again.
You have to know how to move your arm.
No, I mean, for me, there are some people that are.
It's got to be sex appeal no matter what the right.
It's not so much sex appeal.
Okay.
It's not so much sex appeal. Don't get me wrong.
It's confidence.
Thank you.
Confidence.
It's confidence. It's class.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
That's very important. To
me. If you want, it has to be confidence to get my confidence. Or the content of my confidence. Oh no, but
so
I like it.
I have a more serious question.
Okay.
All right. So don't knock my head off. This is coming straight from a viewer.
Okay.
All right. What do you say about black gay men who say, "Ugh, I'm scared of drag queens, and you know they scare me." You know, that goes back to the whole point about having a disconnect between black gay men who do it and black gay men who don't, because we're so obsessed with in pop culture with the RuPaul's Drag Race and all those things. We like to see it from afar, and we're entertained. We go to drag shows, but when it comes to befriending a drag queen or being around in a social setting, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a problem for a lot of black gay men.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is, and that's coming directly from a viewer.
There's a number of reasons, and some reasons are very funny. But I mean, if somebody says they're afraid of drag queens, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry to offend you. But I mean, the thing about it is, there could be very many reasons.
Oh yes.
There could be there are people, and you guys are gonna laugh, but this is very serious. There are people that have a legitimate fear of clowns. And a drag queen might paint to the point where she looks like a clown. So
that you mean but that's different. That's different. I understand that because most people have a fear of bad drag queens.
That too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, bad drag queens. Most people have a fear of that. Like that's a legitimate fear.
That's not a fear. That's a repugnance.
But some people might have. I mean, some people might have a legitimate issue.
With that much pain.
Being around drag queens, period, because they feel like there's a bad connotation to it. Okay. And you know, there's a like you said, there's a misconception. There's a misconception that drag queens are this way. That, you know, they don't have no job, they craft, they do this, whatever. And some people might shy away from that type of thing.
I get that.
And for me, it's not that stuff exists.
Right.
But it's not. That's not everybody.
Yeah, I get that. I see it happening more on, and you know, those may be the things that underlie. I see it more happening on the level of a level of understanding or sameness. Like, I see a lot of guys that may not understand socially what's going on. Like we've all just discussed ad nauseum in this episode. You know, there's a lot of heterosexism, a lot of heteronormative perspectives that get exploited and over patroned in the black gay community. So I think some of that spills over where it's like, okay, well, if you are identifying as somebody that is celebrating, you know, your gender identity, and that gender identity or that gender expression is not one that's clearly male, then I'm not sure where we have a common ground.
Let me put it into a different perspective for you. Have you ever seen like a really, really feminine guy around a straight guy, and
maybe
the
once or
straight
twice.
guy and the straight guy I wasn't finished. And the straight guy gets kind of offended and try to exude more masculinity, you know, just because that feminine guy is around him. Think of a drag queen around a gay guy. It's the same dynamic.
It's the same dynamic.
Wow.
Same dynamic.
It's the same dynamic. Now, you know what? It's so funny when you said that, because I didn't know you were going to go there. I've seen situations where there's a really feminine guy around a straight guy, or, you know, and the straight guy, his energy it becomes more masculine and more hetero, but it also becomes very receptive to the femininity of that gay man.
I've seen that too.
Like, I've seen that. Like, you know what I mean? And I mean, I've seen that. And, you know, and let's just keep it all the way 195% funky. I've been in that situation. Like, I've been in that situation. Okay, let's keep it funky. Like, I like that. No. But I've been in that situation where I've been around straight guys, and their energy, you know, is real, like, you know, it's real yin. It becomes real yin and yang. It becomes real, like, they push their masculine to my feminine pool or whatever I'm giving. It becomes a real complimentary kind of.
They encourage it.
Yeah, and the body language encourages, you know, that, and I think, and vice versa, my energy may encourage that, and like, you know what I mean. So that's what I thought she was going where it becomes more of a symbiotic thing. But I totally understand the example that you said about, you know, where a heterosexual guy will become. I'm like getting y'all so fiercely. I'm getting y'all, and by getting y'all, I mean spitting y'all so fiercely. What I was saying was, you know, I've seen it where guys become very, 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 very hetero aggressive about it when they see that, and wow, so you said it feels the same way.
It's the same dynamic.
I love that alignment, because I think for you just saying that in and of itself, for a lot of out gay guys, that what I was saying for the break, I needed to take a break and a breath, and I'm back with what I was saying. And what I was trying to say was, you know, I see how that works, and I'm able to understand that a lot better, because I've experienced, you know, that straight guy trying to be extra straight because he happens to know that I openly identify as a gay person. And I think that helps me really, and I think that helps a lot of gay guys understand the disconnect. So when they're in that situation in the future and they're around someone that is that is gender expressing differently than they do, they can kind of remind themselves, like, you know what, this is the same shade that the straights pull on me when I'm, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I'm at church and I'm running up and screaming and hugging my good girlfriend, my good Judy from church. Hallelujah. And you know, and her husband is trying to be extra, or her you know, her cousin or whoever, her straight male counterpart is trying to be extra and throw extra energy shade. Right. To my energy. So that is very eye-opening for me. My eyes was just open right now, and I hope my tag team watch's eyes was open. I was blind.
Well, you know, I think you guys make some excellent points. Okay. I do think there's another component to the situation. I think it's those things that you guys mentioned, but I think it's also, correct me if I'm right, but I feel like that some gay men think that whenever guys dress in drag, that they're perpetuating a stereotype, and they're offended by that to some degree.
Oh.
Like, you know,
like a gay stereotype.
Like a gay stereotype. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree.
Like people who are heterosexual, like my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like they think gay automatically equates you wanting to be a woman. You know, and so whenever straight people.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can in a minute.
Okay.
I was like, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to say.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, gay does not mean that you want to be a woman.
No.
Okay.
We made that clear.
Okay.
All right, now, but I totally feel like that it's partially that, and it's almost like some gay men feel like they try so hard to prove, if you will, to our heterosexual counterparts that we're just like you,
right.
And all this discrimination is not necessary because we don't really differ from you very much. We just happen to be attracted to the same sex. We're still men, and this, that, and the other. But then whenever gay men dress in drag and dress like women or impersonate women, it's kind of like counterproductive to what we're trying.
They feel like it undermines.
It undermines everything that we're trying to push towards.
I get where that
that's my take on it.
I love it, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, I get it, and that goes back to what I was talking about in regards to how a straight guy reacts to a feminine guy. Mm-hmm. That's how another gay guy would react to a drag queen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it goes back to that. That's exactly what I was referring to.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
But can you talk a little bit more about the myths or the misconceptions or perceptions that you mentioned it already, that drag queens craft and they don't work, and to pay for their gowns and their makeup and whatever.
Some of them do.
Okay.
Some of them do. Okay.
Shout out to my girls in the struggle, to my sisters, my trouble sisters.
Amen.
Okay.
Some of them do.
You can make it.
Some of them do.
You can't keep a good woman down.
Amen.
Yes, you can't keep a good woman.
Some honestly speaking,
and she may not be a lady, but she's all woman. She's all woman. He's a loving man to keep her strong. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. It takes a few dollars to make her feel like a natural woman.
It takes a few dollars, you know what I mean? But she'll be more than a woman, more than a lover, more than you ever. She's gonna be more
than you ever.
More than you ever. She said I'm gonna be more. Yeah. She's gonna be more than a woman. She's more than a woman. But
No, honestly, some of them do. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell you, oh, we don't do that.
Yeah, right.
But I have to tell you, most of the drag queens that I know are not that way.
Okay.
Most of the drag queens like myself work day jobs. We have day jobs. I mean, I sit at a desk Monday through Friday from 9 to 5.
Right.
And I don't have makeup on. Mm-hmm. I don't wear makeup outside of drag.
Okay.
Frankly speaking, I know people males that can't live without makeup, and I'm sorry, I will live without makeup.
Woo!
So
it's coming down like, it's prophetic.
I know males that shouldn't live without
prophetic.
makeup.
You okay? You know males that shouldn't live without makeup, but they gonna do what they want to do.
But if that's you, keep it in the closet.
Keep it in the closet. Well, some of us you can tell is that bad. But anyway, so no, all seriousness. Some of us actually have day jobs, and drag for us it's a business, but it's a really good. It's something that we enjoy. So it's kind of like merging a business and a hobby at the same time.
It's passion.
So it's there you go. It's passion. I know some drag queens that work full time. Like that's their craft. They do drag.
Full time.
24/7.
Shout out.
Like some of the girls that might do shows in Vegas,
right?
Or stuff like that.
Yeah, they're my true hustlers.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing a show in Vegas?
I have.
Yes.
I have. But honestly speaking, if I were to step outside of like my profession, it would be nerve-wracking. Like I would need to like have a really big break in order for me to
step away from my
day
job.
Right,
I get that. I get that.
I mean, that's what I went to school for. I have a master's degree in this. Like, am I gonna step
a master's degree in drag?
No, crazy.
I was about to say, well, bitch, there you have it.
You ain't never heard of Drag U?
Yo, okay. but I.
Anyway, I have a master's degree in my profession, my daytime profession.
I get it.
And if I were to step away, I would need to be making some good.
Some good change.
If you make it to Vegas, please get me and Merc B some tickets. Tag team, love free tickets.
Tag team, love free tickets. We love free drag tickets.
We like just like free.
We love free, okay? Free like a bird. Free like the clear blue sky, okay? We like it free. You know what I'm saying? But no,
the best things in life are free.
that's what they say. I love it. I love it. Well, Spark, I am so excited that you came in and shared. Like, you know, this was eye-opening for me. And like I said, I think the one point, the big takeaway from me was like, you know, you comparing those energies. And if you're just coming on, rewind the tape and talk and to understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, I love that. Like, I love that that we're able to shed some light on that, because it was something that I was wondering about. You know, how does that work out? You know what I mean?
Right.
How do we, you know, navigate that? And not only that, most importantly, how do we kind of bridge the gap? Because it's one of those things where, you know, in gay life, you know, you see those different distinctions and those different lines kind of drawn in the sand. And for me, you know, lines within the community, you know, are problematic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When there are still so many lines that box our community in already.
Right.
So, you know, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to take the topic on. And it doesn't mean that we're finished now, because I don't know if you have if you have more. But
no. I just you know, you are very interested in bridging that gap as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, because I just want to say one more time, I think it's very important that, you know, you're not trying to be a rebel just for the sake of, you know, just trying to taunt gay men by dressing in drag.
No,
you're not trying to take on the part of the martyr. You're not trying to
not.
take on the part of the martyr and
No.
just, you know, kind of like, you know, suffering for.
We're all different.
A glutton for punishment is
Yeah.
kind of what I'm thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, we go to our gay communities, our gay families, the club, and we find that acceptance in a world that we're otherwise kind of like ostracized.
Yes, exactly.
You know, so why within that subculture would you want to then add on another layer that, you know, really kind of
further separates
you from.
I love it. I love it. I love that you said it, because you said what I was trying to say so beautifully and so clearly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But
Eloquently.
it was so eloquent. It was so eloquent. It was okay, that elocution and that eloquence. I just love it. I love it. It's such an eloquent energy about you. You have an eloquent aura.
So, you know, you said this is your passion. It just is what it is, shout it, basically, right?
Right. I love it.
I love that too. And there's no reason to be afraid, guys.
Right.
Everybody, we're all people. We're all human.
Right.
At the end of the day.
And that's definitely one of the things I want to address. That's my challenge to my, you know, my butch queens. We're going to keep it home style. And, you know, to my butch queens, to my straight acting guys, you know, bridge that gap, befriend our brothers and sisters that are gender expressing differently. That is, you know, the true measure of that masculinity and that manhood that we seek, you know, being able to step out with full integrity and embrace, you know, that which you might think is different, and maybe even finding out that it's not as different as you may think. It is so crazy that we have to have this conversation about the gay community. Like, this is not, if you understand this episode, we are not really talking to the straight community. We're talking about the division within when it comes to gender expression. And like I said, this for me was just so eye-opening, and I love to be able to share something like this, and also encourage any of our brothers that was out there that didn't really know how to make that step and approach that, or didn't know where that quite fit in. I hope this kind of clarifies some of that for all of you, because it did for me. Right.
And if you have an opposing view, please share it in the comment section. Of course, I'm sure you got something to say.
Everybody always got something to say. Somebody always got something to say. I know you out there. They got something to say.
Yeah, so is there anything else you want to say? Spark hat before we go out?
No? I love it.
All right.
I enjoyed my time here.
I love it.
All right, well, good. We're glad to have you. So we're just going to say so long, bye, to our viewers.
To our viewers.
We really appreciate it. One thing, Kay, a.k.a. Sparkel, once again. Can you kind of tell us where we can see you perform?
Oh, awesome.
Not right now. You know, I'm moving out of state,
Oh,
so I don't even know yet.
Okay.
I'm actually moving out of state, so hopefully once I get established, I'm moving for work. Got another job.
Sweet.
Another state. So once I move there and I get established, then I'm pretty sure I'll have a drag home. But until then,
and we will update you on that drag home, just in case you're in that town. Then you can see Sparkel perform. Amazing performer.
I love it. I love it. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Merc B.
And I'm Q.
And this is Spark Out.
And we love you guys.
We love you. This is Tag Team.
Peace.